To the blue and orange brunch. Boy, do we have some topics today. So, a lot of us give criticisms to guys like Mitchell Robinson, Mikal Bridges, Carl Anthony Towns, hell, even Mike Brown. But at what point do we give criticism to the guy who's pulling the strings behind the scenes? I want to know why you guys give Leon Rose a pass. We'll also talk about the slow starts, and Mike Brown made some comments acknowledging that, hey, man, this team just can't get off to a good start. And his plans or suggestions that he made to try to remedy the problem. As well as Jaylen Brunson, he talks about his Olympic plans, but it may not be for who you think it would be for. As far as the mock draft, I got another mock draft. Interesting proposed pick that the Knicks could potentially make. We'll find out about that. Also, a lot of us, we thought that Keonte George might have, not have been, as hurt as he may have appeared, but we did get some news that Keonte is in fact hurt. We'll talk about that. Also, we'll touch on the Pacers game, and the update that could send this game in the opposite direction. We'll talk about that today on this episode of the Blue and Orange Brunch Show. Welcome to the show. I am your host, Karan Pierre, the Objective Fan, and I'm straight out of Kings County, New York City's finest. Man, you know the vibes. Tell a friend that we live, man. Hey, y'all. Welcome to the show. Once again, hopefully you guys are having a beautiful day, today, as the weather is kind of tricky, but hey, it is what it is. Before we get this show cracking, I do got, how we do. We got to get the likes up. All right. So as you enter the show, smash the like button and like the video. Remember, we do 100 likes minimum, but no, it's not the maximum. So continue to smash that like button on the way in. And while you at it, we know that in the last 28 days that the majority of you guys are not subscribed at a 60+% clip. So help us close the gap. We are on the road to 10,000 subscribers. And each time we reach the milestone, we have special giveaways. I ever like to introduce, if you don't know, the 5K giveaway. All you have to do is subscribe. No emails, no phone numbers, and you'll be entered in the chance to win this rookie Jaylen Brunson trading card. Bam! All right. So that's all you have to do is subscribe. So you might as well get it out the way. We do got a game. It is game day. I'm always hyped for game day. Now, the opponent we know we don't like, and that is the Indiana Pacers. And I can't see the chat. Hold on. I'm going to say what's up to some people. So we do got a game against the Pacers. Big time salute to Maxine, the super producer. I see you, Maxine. Uh-oh, my man Coach Saya in the building. Of course, my man Tugboat Taylor. Big time salute to my man Tugboat Taylor. Uh-oh, Pat the engineer. I see you. He said, we are here. All right. Big time salute, man. I don't know what's going on with Stream Elements, man. What the hell is going on with Stream Elements? I'm gonna address Stream Elements. Next show, there won't be no more Stream Elements. That's crazy. I don't know why he timed out my man Coach Sear. Could we untime out my man Coach Sear? That's my man. He don't need to be timed out. That's weird. But a big time salute to everybody in the building. Yeah, we're gonna address that. Of course, we got a game tonight. I may do a night show after the game. What time is it? We'll see. We'll see. We'll see what happens with that. Where there's smoke, there's fire. Usually post game. It's just that it's the Pacers. And well, no, then again, I will be doing a little breakdown on this game. It kind of doing a scouting report on a team like the Pacers is very difficult because they are a team that they're tanking. And you don't really know how the hell they're going to look because they just keep, bringing guys in and out. So usually I wouldn't start a show. Well, okay, hold on. You know what? I'll do it like this. This is how we start the show. We'll do our normal routine. We'll look at the scores. Okay. History was made last night. It seems like every night in the NBA this season, history is being made. So history was definitely made last night. All right. And we're going to touch on that. So the Pistons blew out the 76ers as we do, as we all predicted. We knew that the 76ers were going to have some trouble without Maxey and without Embiid. So we kind of knew that would be the case. And this is exactly what transpired. As far as the Suns and the Pacers, nobody gives a damn about that game. I actually did have to watch this game on condensed. Oh my God. And it just was one of the most wackiest games I've ever seen. And, what I'm learning about the Pacers are they are way better than what they're playing. They are way better than the way they're playing. Like, there's things they're doing to try to handicap themselves so that way they can get that top 4 pick that they traded for Zubac. And they got a potential chance to go get a Cam Boozer, to get a Peterson, or to get a the kid from BYU. So it's crazy what they're doing. Anyway, Orlando Magic beat the Wizards. Nobody gives a damn about that. Hawks beat the Nets. I think the Hawks have won 8 games in a row. So this is a big time win as the Hawks could put pressure on the Magic, for trying to finish in that top 6, 7, 8 spot. Hawks have been on fire at the right time. The Miami Heat barely beat the Bucks. They beat Giannis Antetokounmpo. This is a game that I definitely had my eye on because, there's been a lot of interest in Giannis Antetokounmpo. So it was pretty interesting seeing, the Heat get a win. And Bam Adebayo, just out of curiosity, I wonder what he scored in this game. So Bam had a regular 21 points. He's back to being human, y'all. Bam Adebayo, I repeat, he's back to being a human being, okay? So no more 80-point game. And I think we might have to talk about it on NBA Saturdays, but it is what it is. Hold on, let me go back. To those of you guys who may care, Bam is back to regular game numbers. He wasn't even the team high on the Heat. It was Larson. Dallas Mavericks beat the Memphis Grizzlies. Nobody gives a damn about that game. The Denver Nuggets beat the Spurs. So Jokic and the Nuggets, they have redeemed themselves. They got some good wins under their belt after taking some pretty tough losses. And the Denver Nuggets are trying to show the NBA that, hey, we are for real, okay? As far as the Thunder and the Celtics, this was an interesting game. Now, I want to see how many of you guys, okay, how many of you Knicks fans are going to give a pass to the Boston Celtics. Oh, they didn't have Tatum. Oh, I've never seen a team get more passes than the Celtics. Hopefully this cools down that hype train. The Celtics are the best team in the East. And, they're going to be doing all these things. Yeah, they lost the 2 real games in a row. And y'all got excuses. Shame on you, Knicks fans, if you're going to excuse the Boston Celtics. And the Chicago Bulls, the Los Angeles Lakers got a big-time blowout against the Chicago Bulls, okay? Luka Doncic had 50, and Doncic is on a tear. I'm telling you right now, I know I'm not big on the Lakers, but they are going to be a problem in the playoff matchup. Luka is on one for real. I'm just letting y'all know. Luka, he's a monster right now. He's playing phenomenal basketball. So as far as tonight's games, of course, we got our beloved Knicks taking on the Indiana Pacers. There's some news coming out of this game. I'll get to it later. All right. Memphis Grizzlies taking on the Pistons. Another easy game for so now Pistons fans are going to be comfortable. Now they got 2-3 wins in a row. They beating teams. Yeah. Detroit basketball. All that nonsense we got to hear. See, they're not playing the game fair, but they get another easy one. The Raptors versus the Suns. This is actually going to be a really good game. The Pacers actually was up early in this Suns game yesterday, and the Phoenix Suns had to bounce back. We know both of these teams are battling for playoff rankings and contention and things of that nature, so this should be an action-packed fight. As far as the Cavaliers, versus the Dallas Mavericks, this will be an interesting game because Cleveland is right behind us, even though Dallas, they're a top 10 defense, and the young Bulls are trying to play there. And Jason Kidd put out a statement saying that he doesn't believe in tanking. So, maybe we might have to take the Dallas games a little bit more serious. The Pelicans versus the Rockets. Nobody gives a damn about that. But I will say that Zion and these guys, have been showing a little bit of fight, even though they're still bad and they probably should tank. Not stay. They probably should tank. But yeah. As far as the Timberwolves and the Warriors, this is a big game. This Timberwolves-Warriors game is a big game. The Warriors have to find crafty ways to win without Steph. They continue to lose. They're going to find themselves not just in the play-in, but out the playoffs. The Jazz versus the Trailblazers. Nobody gives a damn about that game. And the Clippers versus the Bulls. This is a big game for the Clippers because Chicago, even though they're kind of halfway tanking, the Bulls... the Clippers are also trying to fight. So the Clippers got to win this game. The Clippers need to win as many, and they also broke history with the only team to be like, I can't remember what it was, but they had a really bad record and then to go above 500. They set a record or something like that. But I'll get that on NBA Saturdays. But those are the games for tonight and the scores. As you guys know, I like to, have the scores from the previous night so we can see what's going. Most games, if not every game, can have a correlation to the Knicks. So that's why I like to look at these games, whether it be an upcoming opponent, whether it be, a future opponent, whether it may be somebody tanking and they have our picks. No matter what it may be, it's always going to be something of interest, in my opinion, for us to check out. So that's why I like to look at those things, so to speak. All right. Let me see something. A lot of directions we could go in after this. I'm gonna start with JB though, because this has been something that I wanting to talk about, but I didn't talk about it for like the last 3 shows. So I figured let's just get this out the way. Jaylen Brunson says he wants to play in the Olympics. But, once again, it may not be how you think it will be. So our captain has a podcast called the Roommates Podcast. If you never watched it, you could check it out. I like it when they talk basketball stuff. When they start talking about other things, I don't watch it. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't catch the Jose Alvarado episode. I gotta watch that. And I think this quote comes from that episode. I did see part of the clip. I didn't really get a chance to watch the episode though. But when the Indiana Pacers guard Tyrese Halliburton was chosen over Jaylen Brunson to join Team USA as a backcourt reserve in 2024, New York Knicks fans were outwardly beside themselves. Needless to say, so was the star too. Now that 2 years removed and 2 years shy of the 2028 games in Los Angeles, talk of Brunson partaking in the global event is already underway. Though this time around, he may not be so gung-ho about aiding United States' pursuit in another gold medal. Now, this is important because for Team USA, because what if Jaylen Brown feels the same way? What if Jaylen Brown feels the slight from the last time and say, hey, screw y'all, I'm not going to the team in 2028. Anyway, Knicks star hints at potentially representing Jamaica in 2028 Olympics. During a recent episode of The Roommate Show with Jaylen Brunson and Josh Hart, the boys discussed the possibility of participating in the next Summer Olympics, though Hart, Brunson, and the guest Jose Alvarado broached the idea of suiting up for different teams other than the U.S. Okay. Alvarado mentioned how he represented Puerto Rico in the 2024 Olympics. Big time salute to Puerto Rico. Right? And which sparked the conversation over Hart and JB's eligibility to join another nation. During this segment, Brunson said, I could play somewhere else, as both of his maternal grandparents are Jamaican. Big time salute to the Jamaican massive out there. And noted that he thinks it would be all right if he sought to gain citizenship to represent them in the world's biggest stage. What do you think about Jaylen Brunson playing for Jamaica? I say go for it. If USA don't want you, then you got to go beat them. You know? That's just what it is. I'm now, of course, I'm Team USA all day. Big time salute to Team USA. I ain't trying to trip that. But at the same time, you know, if Jaylen Brunson wants that work, I wouldn't be mad if he went to go play with Jamaica. They got a nice little team. They would have Scotty Barnes, the Thompson twins. I think Jalen Duran. Who else they got like 6, 7, 8 NBA players that are solid that team would consist of. And if they add Jaylen Brunson to that team, they could be a problem. The only problem though is they don't got no shooters. Like you talking about Thompson twins and Barnes, that's pure defense and no shooter. Like you're gonna get cooked. But it would be interesting to see. Like I could see him helping them out a lot because he would bring the shooting, the playmaking, clutch factor, all of those things to the table to a team that would need that with all these defensive big guys and stuff like that. So what do you guys think about Jaylen Brunson potentially playing for Jamaica? That's a topic we could talk about. I do also want to talk about Keonte George really quickly because a lot of us thought that when he hobbled out the game, we was like, you know, I was putting up tank emojis. It just was crazy in the Discord. Big time salute to the Knicks Tape Madness Discord server. It was crazy in there. I was putting the tank emojis, and because he just ran off the court, we never seen him again, never heard about him again. It just was weird. I know we watching on MSG. If we were watching on the Utah broadcast, I'm pretty sure they would have gave an update. But Keonte George out at least 2 weeks due to hamstring injury he had against the Knicks. Okay, so he's going to miss 2 weeks. All right, due to the right hamstring strain. Now, to their credit, or to his credit, unfortunately, he did reach for what appeared to be the hamstring before he ran to the back, right? But was this all WWE antics? Some of us believe it was. All right. So this injury could see, but this is the part that's crazy to me. This injury could see George miss the remainder of the regular season, as there's roughly a month left to go in the season. Hold up. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. It seemed a little fishy to me, man. Oh, I figured out what that was. Hold on. So I figured out, because listen, I kind of like, I'm like a stickler and like for perfection. And I'm like, yo, what's going on with my screen? I just figured it out. I did that the last time. My bad. Anyway, no, I forgot to make that tweak back. Anyway, so he can miss the remainder of the season. How many players does Utah have missing the remainder of the season? We know that this team clearly are trying to lose out on the final games of the season, and they're trying to disguise it and doing it the way that doesn't seem as bad as tanking as it is. And I think they were one of the teams that was fine. I think it was them in Indiana, clearly. So how convenient it is for this brother to get an injury. We know Keonte George was balling. He was averaging like 24 points in the last 24.7 points in the last 10 games. He was averaging 22, 23 points on the season. And he makes it hard to lose because he comes in the game, he gets pure buckets. He is a pure bucket getter. And so, what do you guys think about that? The tank job is complete. I'm only talking about it because we just played against them. And, I feel as though it's kind of some interesting things going on there. What I'll do, because I know that you guys, but hold on, before I do that, let's smash the like button. Just thought about that. We hadn't talked about the likes in a minute. Continue to smash the like button. Remember, the goal always is 100 likes minimum, not to be confused with the maximum. So go ahead and smash that like button. Thumb up the video. It's very important for the algorithm. Big time salute to my man, the Wolf Perry. I see you, channel member in the building. I do appreciate you and your support. My man, Tugboat Taylor, once again. All right. Norm Powell. Okay, I see Norm Powell's one of the guys. Yeah, they got a little squad, with Brunson, Powell, the Thompson twins, Barnes, Jaylen Durant. Damn, who comes off the bench? Yikes, that's kind of scary. Big time salute to Crim's dad. Oh, you watched the Alvarado episode. I see you. Big time salute. FS Wisdom in the building. Zach in the building. Knicks Tape Madness Discord server in full effect. And I just see my man Mellow Mike pull up. Big time salute to the Knicks Tape Madness Discord server. Channel members, OKF Nation, form like Voltron. Big time salute, man. Continue to smash that like button. Also, while you at it, you might as well subscribe because we know that in the last 28 days, well over 60+% of you guys have not subscribed. So subscribe now to help us close the gap. And of course, we're on the road to 10K. And we do have that 5K giveaway, which is the rookie Jaylen Brunson trading card. All right. So all you have to do is subscribe. No phone numbers, no emails. That's it. By the way, if you guys want to call up, you can. 646-995-8389. Call up, voice your opinion. I'm curious to know what your thoughts are, man. He said I didn't watch it. I was lying. Oh my God. Why is it we don't support the Roommates podcast as Knicks fans? I'm not the only one that struggles with watching it. Clearly. But yeah, if you guys want to call up, you can at any point in time. Just make sure the phone lines are good. All right. Okay, cool. We good, man. We cooking with hot grease. And whenever you guys are ready, get your coals on, all right? Let me get back in the research mode because there's some more things I want to talk about our beloved Knicks. Remember, I'm asking a question about Leon Rose as well. When you guys complain about the Knicks, why is it that you give Leon Rose a pass? Why? Think about that. You always complain about Mikal. You always complain about Mitchell Robinson. You always complain about Brunson. You always complain about Towns. But you never complain about Leon Rose. That's a mystery to me. So I want to know today why you guys give him a pass. Okay, so I got another kind of Brunson-related topic that I want to touch on really quickly as I wait for you guys to call up. Oh, and by the way, if you can't call up, you could always send in a donation and I will read it in place of a call. Because I know a lot of you guys are at work who listen to the show. And, it's my job to help get you through the workday by giving you some entertainment. And this is what we do on this platform. Entertainment by having good basketball talk, not trolling, not dissing people, not saying this person sucks because this, that, and the third, and just focusing on trashing people. I don't have to do that. We talk basketball, and now if the callers call up and they want to criticize somebody, that's on them. They could do that, Oh, and by the way, hold up. Last night, salute to all the people that was here last night. We had a really good Knicks Nocturnal show. One of the things that I'm talking to Maxine about is putting Knicks Nocturnal as a Saturday night show. So only on Saturday nights will we do Knicks Nocturnal when there's no game. But we did do like an impromptu Knicks Nocturnal. It wasn't the latest show, but it got late. So I said, let's just do a Knicks Nocturnal. And I played lawyer last night, and I had to defend Mikal Bridges. And to my, well, I'm not going to say I was surprised, but people thought that I did a good job defending Mikal Bridges. We learned some things about Mikal that we did not consider. So if you missed that video, you could definitely go check it out. It's worth the watch. And also, if you saw the video and you want to talk about it, you could also call up to discuss that. But yeah, that video was fire. And salute to the brother. I think it was Khalil. He called up and he had like some really good insight. And he was uttering a lot of the things I was saying or was going to say. And I was like, man, salute to that brother. He really, he sees the game from a different perspective. So salute to him for calling up and kind of backing me up with some of the points I was making for Mikal. So a lot of people didn't think we could pull it off, but I did because, I'm the objective fan. So, I try to look at the game from a zoomed out perspective more than anything. Hold on, my fault. My bad on that. But I try to look at the game from a zoomed out perspective versus just being so close to the action. Like, for example, he scored 0 points. But what did he score in the last 10 games? 20 games, right? Just being a little bit more zoomed out. That's what I would say. Hold on, give me 2 seconds. Let me get this link. I don't know what's going on with my copy and paste today. Boom. So this is another article I didn't get a chance to touch on, but I thought that this was interesting. Knicks find Jaylen Brunson Yang with mock draft. Okay, so New York Knicks bench scoring has been popping back up as a real concern when it comes to this roster. It definitely is. That's why I advocated for Jordan Clarkson to be in the rotation. However, this team does have a first-round pick in the upcoming draft, believe it or not. Okay. Analyst Christopher Klein's latest mock draft had the Knicks grabbing Iowa's Bennett Sturts. Now, I never heard of this kid. I'm not going to lie. If you guys heard of Bennett Sturts, call up and let me know your thoughts on him. All right. 22-year-old. You know what I like seeing, though? I like seeing a lot of this is what I wanted to show y'all the other day, was that a lot of the guys who are coming out, mostly like later in the draft, like mid-first round later, they're all 22, 23. This whole NIL system, it's working because the players are staying in college longer, and now we're starting to see better draft class. Yes, of course, you got the freshman phenoms. They're always going to be there. We know that. BYU kid, Cam Booth. There's always going to be fresh. But I'm talking about the quality you're seeing towards the end of the draft. Middle to the end, you're seeing a lot of good players, man. And I like seeing 22-year-olds on the board, man. Big time salute to the 22-year-olds and the 23-year-olds. 24-year-olds you'll see on the. I'm like, damn. Usually they will value youth. Now, in that later second round, late first round, it's all about the 23, 24, 25-year-olds. And so, not 25, but 23, 22, 21. That's what they're looking at now in those positions. And we're going to see from this draft, the ages. That's all I'm looking at. Age. Youngers go early, but the more mature, polished guys who stayed in school, they get the towards the end of the draft. Anyway, so he's projected to be 25th overall. The 22-year-old point guard is 6'4". Okay, I like that already. 6'4" point guard. Okay, with the feel for the game and shot-making ability, setting him up to potentially help New York keep a high-level offense throughout the entirety of games. Klein's latest mock draft for Fansided, he paired the Knicks up with the 6'4" senior guard. This season, the Hawkeyes averaging 20 points per game, 4.4 assists, and 1.5 steals a game. He's also taking and making a fair deal of three-pointers, He attempted 6.6 per game and made 38.2%. I take that. Give me that. Now, I don't know much about this kid, but I'm hoping that this kid, this kid Bennett Sturts, I'm hoping that he could play some defense. So to all my college basketball people, please let me know if you know anything about this kid. I'm wondering if this kid can play some defense. All right. He's taking and making a big fair deal of 3-pointers. Okay, I told that. The analyst began his notes of the selection with the acknowledgement of which he felt he was addressing, writing that the Knicks often struggle to generate consistent offense when Brunson exits the game. Fans who watched Jordan Clarkson drop 27 points on Wednesday night might think otherwise, but no. I mean, that's one game, and Clarkson hasn't been a fixture in the rotation. And also, Clarkson won't be here next year. So we can't overly rely on him going into the future. We're going to need somebody to replace that void. And they're saying that this kid could be it. This is what the Klein dude is saying. He said the Knicks have been known to what to upgrade at the guard spot for months before they traded for Jose Alvarado. If they draft someone like Sturts, though it could take the onus off players like Alvarado and Deuce McBride to score, they can focus their offense on the defensive end, where they could truly change the entire playoff series for the Knicks. All right? Sturts fits the prospect of experienced three-point shooter. Okay? Analysts made sure to note that Sturts are a conventional path to Iowa. Listen to this. And eventually to the NBA draft. Perhaps in part because it involves a great relationship with a coach. Those kinds of streets goes two ways. The fact that Ben McCollum has taken Sturts with him from Division II competition to Northwest Missouri State to being a potential first-round draft pick. That's fire. All right. Throughout Leonardo's tenure, he's a guru. Okay. With the assistant general manager Walt Perrins. Okay. The team has rarely drafts one-and-done college players. New York seems to prefer players with multiple years of organized experience. That's facts. Whether they're heading to the NBA after several years in college or playing professional league overseas. All right. Sturts going from number one option in Iowa to a bench-scoring demon makes a good deal of sense. What do you guys think about this kid? I got to check him out. I got to watch his highlights. I got to watch his tapes. But this is what, they're saying that we could do in the draft. Somebody to go with Brunson and be the yin and yang. If the kid doesn't play no defense, I don't know. Because I didn't really hear nothing about his defense. Offense is good, but we need guys that are 6'5", 6'6", that could play some damn defense. And if they could score a bucket, I take it. But at least if they can hit the three ball, it'll be a major key. All right? So, and by the way, if you don't know, the phone lines are open. So if you want to call up, you can and talk. All right? 646-995-8389. Call up, voice your opinion. All right? And let me get my man on the line. If I miss your call, I also will call you back as well. See if my man Joe is available.
What's
going on? Hey, Joe from AC, in the place to be. Where we going, Joe? Talk to me.
Hey, man. Well, yesterday I saw you doing the trade machine with Giannis and Bobby Portis. I kind of want to talk about that just a little bit.
Okay.
Not to get on top or anything, but
no, it's good. It's good. Go ahead.
I thought it was interesting. I saw you put OG Anunoby, Mikal Bridges, four picks for Bobby Portis, Giannis, and then I think there was some other things. I think there was like $10 million or something overflow.
Yeah, what it was is, well, what it doesn't show us is OG Anunoby's trade kicker, which would be an additional like $5 million.
Okay.
It doesn't show that, but he has a trade kicker, which would add value to his contract. Yeah.
Okay. Because the way that you had the trade laid out, you know, in the past, I wouldn't have said to do it, but I kind of liked what you had laid out there for us. Like, if we're getting back Bobby Portis and Giannis, and we're only giving out Mikal and OG, and of course the picks, I think I'm doing that trade, man. You know, to get
you ain't
Giannis
got no damn choice. Again, I'm sorry.
Well, no, honestly, you're right. We don't have the way that Mikel's playing and the way OG goes missing sometimes. It's like, yeah, we don't have a choice. My question to you is though, do you think the Bucks pull the trigger on that kind of trade, or do they want Deuce? That's the
I throw.
question.
Listen. If it's me, I'm throwing Deuce up in there. I could go get me a kid. You seen the kid I just had on the screen? That 6'4" kid from wherever school he was from. I could
Oh,
get another Deuce.
the guy, our pick, the 27th pick here is what you're
Yeah,
talking about,
right.
right?
Yeah, we
Okay.
got a pick in the draft, and they tell me that this guard. So you could get another guard. I love Deuce, but you can't get another Giannis. I'm sorry,
No,
does not happen.
I
Yeah.
hear you. I just wish there was a way to make that trade happen with OG and Mikel without having to give up Deuce.
Mm.
I know I've been saying that a lot, but I don't know, man. There's just something about Deuce. I just think he's really valuable. Like when he comes back for us this year, like I think he's going to be, a big part of what we're doing. We need people
Yeah.
on the floor that can move the ball and score and play point of attack defense. It's important.
Yeah.
I kind of would have the same argument like you made with Mitch. Like there's not that many guys in the league doing it. Like how
Mm-hmm.
many guys in the league are doing what Deuce McBride are doing at his price point? We're only
Right.
paying this guy $2 to $4 million, and he's giving us $20 million of production. It's like, yo, how do you go
Right.
wrong with this? But like you
But
said too, we're gonna have to
you're
pay
gonna
him.
have to pay. Bingo.
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna. I'm glad you added that because that's a key factor in this whole situation as well. And especially the team's success depends on it a lot.
Well, let
So
me ask you something. Who would you rather pay, Mitchell Robinson or Deuce? Because I bet that's a hard question. If it came
um
down to it.
honestly, man, I think Mitchell Robinson's value is shot, and I think the Knicks did it intentionally. And so I think Deuce is just going to be more. I think Deuce is going to get paid more money than Mitch at this point.
Yeah, and you think it's because of the injuries, right? Like how much they've
The
been keeping them
injuries
under load.
and the load
Yeah,
management, especially the load management, has diminished the man's value to a point where I don't see how you give him 4 years, $85 million. I can see you giving that to Deuce, but I don't know how you give that to. I just don't see a world where you give Mitchell Robinson that much money. If
yeah.
you give him the money, I don't see you giving it to him for 4
Well,
years.
we
Yeah.
don't have it, like you said. Like we're maxed out on the aprons, right? We don't
Well,
have the money.
I'm gonna explain that, right? But it depends on whether or not you're a first apron team or a second apron team or your hard cap at the second apron. That changes a lot.
Yeah, because then we can't do the 2-for-1 trade, is what you were saying, right? And
Bingo.
that's
Right.
important.
10
Well, let me ask you
Bingo.
one
seconds.
more thing
Yeah.
before you let me go. I'm
Mhm.
really curious about this. How did the Timberwolves get away with making us have to pay Cat so much money? How come we couldn't make that trade and take his contract for less? There's got to be a way that teams can make these trades and we're not paying the same price that the old team was paying. Like, why do we have to flip the bill for a team that's getting rid of a player? You know what I'm saying? Like,
No,
if
I
we're
get what you're
bringing,
saying, but we agreed to it.
yeah, okay, all right,
Yeah. It's like once you do the trade, you agree to take the contract.
and,
Even like, and just to give you another one, right? Like with OJ Anunoby, right? He didn't have a deal signed, but we pretty much agreed to give him the money that OG said he wanted Toronto to give him.
yeah,
So that's
I
why it
just
was already a done deal. Like that was a part of the trade, kind of. Like even though it wasn't official, but it was a agreement that we're gonna give you the 5-year, $212 million extension. So that's what it was.
I just wish there was a way we could renegotiate these trade amounts when these guys come in. But thanks for taking my
Yeah,
call, man. I don't want to hold the line
no
too much.
doubt. Big
Thank you.
time salute. So hold on, wait, Joe. One
Salute.
last thing before you go.
Yeah.
So are you gonna give Leon Rose a pass, or why do you give Leon Rose a pass? If that's how you feel, why? Because he's the guy who orchestrated the deal.
Well, the only reason I'm giving Leon Rose a pass for this, if I do give him a pass anyway, is because it's the way the league is set up and the way that the rules are. But if it was
Okay.
me and I'm the one doing the GMing, man, I'm not giving these guys all this money. I can't do it. I'm looking for
Hmm.
the future, and I'm just figuring out who I gotta pay in the future, man. Like I can't justify giving Cat all this money when the two guys we traded him for are both in the top 100 scores, and they're, if you combine their points and then you look what Cat's giving us, it's like 1,000-point difference.
Hmm.
So I mean, I like
That's
Cav
true.
here. I do like him here. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna, sound like a spoiled child or anything, but Leon Rose, man, like we had to figure out a way to get these books right because we're getting in a spot now where we're having issues. Mitchell Robinson, Deuce, like we're having all these contract problems. We got to figure it
Okay.
out. So,
Okay. I hear you, man. All right. Big time.
all right, man. Thank you.
Salute. My
See you.
man Joe from AC. All right. Um, that's what I'm gonna start doing now. I'm gonna start asking you why you give Leon Rose a pass. Because he's the one that did all of this. He's the one that set all of this stuff up. If you really think about it. By the way, continue to smash that like button. It's very important to the algorithm. All right. 100 likes minimum. We're not at our goal, but we're on the way to our goal. I see you, Maxine, the super producer, in the building. All right. Big time salute to everybody as you watch. As you come in, smash the like button. Man, damn, they taking shots at Jose. Jose might, hey, listen, when the dust settles, Jose might be the only one left off that bench, boy. It's a lot with that bench that I'm concerned about because even if we don't do the Giannis trade, we could lose our entire bench besides Deuce and Alvarado and Diawara. Diawara is not going nowhere, but we could. There's a world where you lose Mitchell Robinson and Shaman. Hey, what's going on, Snipes? How you feeling?
What's going on, man? How you feeling today?
Man, everything is good, man. Just, having some conversations, trying to figure out why people giving Leon Rose passes. But what say you, man?
You know me. I'm nipping that in the bud every time. Like we not doing the Leon Rose slander. This man turned what? A David Fizdale, what? 12th. What place were we in? 12th place. Wait, let me look at
No,
them. 12th place, 21-45.
technically it was
Into
Mike Miller, right? Because I think
yeah,
Mike Miller
yeah,
took over.
yeah,
Technically, but I hear
Mike
you.
Miller,
I
yeah,
got you. I got you. But
to
remember, well, go ahead.
an
Now, go
Eastern
ahead. I don't want to
Conference
talk.
champion in
Mm-hmm.
5 years. I mean,
Okay.
Eastern Conference finalist in 5 years. Our stock
Right.
has only risen, risen, no pun intended, since he's got here. We hired
Right.
Tom Thibodeau. He's made so many plays behind the scene. We're like, how did you do that? How did you turn Yabusele into all of this? I mean, he's done that on a constant basis. He's ever since these new because I'm no capologist, but obviously he is because even the team he has, the medical team, everything about this team has gotten better because of Leon Rose. The only blunder I will say is firing Tibbs at last minute, but I'll be honest with you, I think that might have been a Dolan move because he's been moving very calculated his whole tenure here, and that was kind of abrupt.
Well, if I could clarify that, I'm gonna pause you, right? So if I could clarify that, it was a Leon Rose move, but here's the problem. The problem was everybody on Leon Rose staff, not everybody, but there were some key guys reportedly on Leon Rose staff that did not like Tibbs.
Right.
So he had that X factor there. And then the players came into the meeting with Dolan and said, hey, somebody said, oh, I don't think I could play for him again. Yeah, he's out of his mind. And so they had to get rid of him. I don't think the plan was to get rid of him right then and there, though there were reports, people said that there were some, ultimatums during the playoffs. And so the decision was kind of already made. That's what some people said. I don't know, but
yeah, I
the
remember.
bottom
I forgot
line
what
is
game it was. It was a certain game, and it got really bad,
right.
And it was like,
got really bad.
That's,
exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. So it was. I thought it was impromptu because I thought that they felt like they could do what they had to do last year because this team was built to beat Boston. So that should have been enough to get us to the finals. The fact that we didn't get there was a huge demerit. So the only reason why. Right, to bring and I know you probably have other things you want to share, but I just want to bring it back to Leon Rose. The only reason why I'm bringing it to him is because people consistently complain about things about the team. So that's why I asked, well, why are you giving Leon Rose a pass? Because none of y'all ever bring him up. You complain about the moves he made or the people he brought in, whether it's Bridges, whether it's Towns, whether it's this, that, or third, but you don't talk about the guy who brought it in. That's the only reason why I asked. But go ahead. Where you want to go, brother?
No, that was. I mean, that's really it. It's like we went to the
Okay.
ECS last year. Like, I mean, like all jokes aside, I ain't throwing no shade. How long you had this
Hmm.
podcast? Was it before or after
Uh,
Leon Rose?
after that, definitely after.
Everybody's talking about the Knicks because after Leon Rose. I mean, that's the point I'm making.
Hmm.
The whole reason the Knicks are relevant is because of Leon Rose. So the throw slander, yeah, he's not perfect. He ain't, I ain't gonna glaze the man completely. He ain't perfect. And like I said, I think the Mike Brown is the biggest blunder he's ever made. But that's just chess. You ain't gonna be perfect every time. Sometimes you got a little blunder, but he always makes a move that we go, wow, how'd you pull that
Right.
off?
No, he's doing a great
So
job. He's doing a great job overall. He's doing a
yeah,
great
so
job overall. Yep.
yeah, so if we make it to the ECF this year again, I mean, what do we say? Do we say, oh, Leon Rose, you played us again? I mean, where do we go from there?
I might say that. I might
Yeah.
say that because you know why? He said that our singular focus is a championship, and you're giving me Eastern
Mm,
Conference Finals.
fair enough.
So that's why I say he's on my own personal hot seat, not
Yeah, no,
not
that's
the
fair enough.
team. You feel me? Not you guys, not Jim Dolan. I said my hot seat because here's my thing, right? If we're gonna give him the credit when he does the great things, and then we're gonna tear down others when the things don't go right, he should get the most of the credit because he brought everybody here. This is his
I see what you're
creation,
saying. Playing the house of cards. I got you.
right? And House of Cards. And look, right? If you trust in Leon Rose, then you should trust in the same players that you criticize because he sees something in them where they could help us win a championship or at least to the finals, right? He sees, but you guys call in and complain every day. And I'm like, damn, so why are you giving Leon a pass? That's the logic. So
Because
that's the logic. I'm trying to be
Leon,
optimistic. I'm
because
trying to be
Leon ain't the one
optimistic.
saying, hey, we need to get rid of Tom Thibodeau because he ain't giving me layup lines, and then he go out there and shoot fadeaway layups. That's why.
I
Leon ain't the
got
one
you.
on the court. He's the one that's putting them on the court, so it's just, do your job when it's time to do your job. He did his, so we just asking them to do theirs. He assembled a great team. We're looking at the roster. Our roster is super deep, pause. But we just need the roster to do their job. But that's all I'm gonna leave it at.
All right, one more question before you go, right? One more question
Yeah.
before you go. If I have a friend,
Uh-huh.
right? And let's say we have okay, let's say you got some work you need done, right?
Yeah.
In your house, right? And I'm like, yo, I got this. I got a friend. They do great work. I bring the friend to your house. He steals all your stuff. He messes up the job. And so, yes, we know it's the friend's fault. But
Right.
aren't you going to look at me differently? You're going to be like,
No,
you brought this dude to my house.
no, because I would ask for a portfolio. And that's what we have. We have a portfolio. We've seen the work that they were capable of doing. And then it's like, what is happening now? And then I go, oh,
Okay.
that's right. You got a new foreman. That foreman's trash. It ain't you. It ain't the owner. It's
But
your
but
foreman.
but once again, you still got to update the example then because then you brought in the foreman too. The
Yeah,
foreman didn't
the
come out of
foreman is Mike
nowhere.
Brown. Huh?
Right. So I bring the foreman and my friend, and they both are like not holding up to the end of the bargain. You got to look at me and be like, hey, dog, you bring in some dudes that's not, you normally do good. You normally bring good people, but now they messing up. You going to look at me funny, bro. Come on, man. You know how that
Yeah. No,
go.
I am. Yeah, because I'm gonna judge you
Look,
for hiring that foreman. That's what I said. I think that's
bingo.
his biggest blunder is our new foreman. Brown the
Bingo.
clown.
Okay.
But we'll see what happens in the
Big
end. I
time.
ain't gonna drag it out. And I
Right. Yeah.
appreciate
No,
the
I got you.
conversation, man.
Big time. Big time. I
All
appreciate you.
right, stay blessed, brother.
All right. Big time. It's my man Snipes, Tugboat Taylor in the building. You see, hopefully you guys see my logic. Because, I feel like, I could conquer the world after I did what I did with Mikal Bridges last night. You can't see one thing about me, right? I'm just so objective. Like, I'm so for the Knicks, right? I'm not going to cap for the Knicks, but I'm not an axe to grind person that wants to take down players. Like you got people who don't like LeBron James. So everything they do, it has to be to tear down LeBron James. You got people who don't like Brunson. So everything they do, they have to. I don't have no angle. I call it how I see it. On one show, I could be asking the question, is Mikal Bridges cheating the game? That's one show. I did that, Unfiltered Thought channel members, right? The next show is me defending Mikal Bridges, like I did last night. I was his lawyer, and I thought I did a damn good job. But I'm not just doing it for the sake of argument. I'm doing it because I actually see certain things when you zoom out. That's why I keep trying to tell y'all. This is why we do the Knicks in 10 show. By the way, the next Knicks in 10 show will be next Thursday. It's the most important show on YouTube. You have to watch it. It's where I make predictions, and I tell you, yo, this is what it's going to be. And I'm usually on the money. I told y'all about the defense. So now with this schedule the way it is, I'm looking at information and I'm like, okay. And we're going to go from there. And I'll talk more about that on the next show. But my point is, though, if Leon Rose is y'all mans and y'all like what Leon Rose is doing, then why are y'all tearing down his moves? Because when you talk about negatively about the picks with Mikal, then that energy should go to Leon Rose. You can't have the energy for Mikal in the picks without going to the guy who actually gave up the picks. Hopefully that makes sense. Keep the calls coming, 646-995-8389. Call up, voice your opinion. This is the Blue and Orange Brunch. What's going on? Number 9, Detroit. Where we at, man? You got more clips, man? Where we going today? Where we going?
No clips to go.
Okay.
but I do want to address what you said, because I want to see if you on your stuff.
Okay.
So you said basically with the Pistons that we have to go through a stepping stone, because y'all beat us last year in the first round, and you still saying this isn't our time. Which I ain't saying we about to win a championship or nothing like that. But by your logic, you were saying teams don't just jump in there, get in the first round, then they're in the Eastern Conference Finals or the Finals.
Right.
But then when you look at these Indiana Pacers, they was just in the finals last year, in which they beat y'all to get there. And then they was just in the Eastern Conference Finals the year before, in which they beat y'all.
Right.
Before that, they were out of the playoffs 3 years in a row. They weren't even a playoff team. And then they jumped directly to the Eastern Conference Finals, and then they jumped to the finals. So by your own logic, the Pacers should have not beaten the Knicks, nor should they have been in the Eastern Conference Finals and the finals. So how does the same thing not apply to the Pistons? That's my question.
Okay, you ready for the answer, right?
Yeah.
All right, so I got you. So the Pacers won series. So on their way to getting to the Eastern Conference Finals the first time, they won 2 series, right? Then the following year.
Before that was 3 years in a row without making the playoffs.
Bingo. So what I'm saying is you're not winning the championship. That's my rhetoric, that you guys are not winning the playoffs, right? And they won the series, the championship, right? They won the previous year. They won 2 series. So coming into next season, they had the experience of winning, something you don't have. So
but
come
they
back to
had
me.
no experience in 2024. They jumped directly to the conference finals.
So pretty much where you hope to do the same thing that Indiana does. I don't think you're gonna do it, but that's the hope, that you can do that, right? Now there was some other factors there. I don't like excuses, but we know guys were hurt. I don't want to go there. I don't want to take away people's wins.
I got you. I mean,
but
you can make a case for every playoff.
Right.
Series.
It's like, all right, so y'all going to the playoffs right now, right? And if God forbid, gets hurt, I don't want that to happen.
Right.
And y'all lose in the first round to the Hornets. But now the Hornets automatically somehow they win the second round, and then they go up against us in the Eastern Conference Finals and get smoked. You see what I'm saying? And then next year they come back and they do it. So stuff like that happens.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
But still, the Pacers didn't win the championship. And I'm gonna tell you something funny, number 9, right? I was the first person to come up with this, right? I said that there's no champion since we went back to 1958. No NBA champion but one. You guys in 2004 has won the championship without an All-NBA first team or MVP. It only happened one time in NBA history. And But since you're a Detroit Pistons fan, how good was that 2004 Pistons team? Was that like a
team,
regular team, or was that? Would you say
no,
that
that
that was
team
a
was
rare
legit. We
exception?
had 4 All-Stars on that
Bingo.
squad.
Thank you. Thank you.
They
Thank you.
yeah,
Special team.
they were holding teams to 70 points
Right.
where they couldn't get over for like 2 months straight. Yeah.
Bingo. And so that team was definitely a great exception to the rule. But you said it, the 4 All-Stars kind of, this is what got them over the. Most teams don't got 4 All-Stars. We don't got 4 All-Stars. Y'all don't got. You see what I'm saying? So that team was special. So the point that I'm saying is that's why Indiana didn't win it last year. And I had Knicks fans, believe it or not, I had Knicks fans rooting for Indiana to try to prove the theory wrong.
Wow. Hey,
but this
man.
how I feel.
Okay.
This is my personal belief.
What's
If
up?
Halliburton didn't get injured, didn't get that Achilles, I feel like the Patriots was gonna win that game 7.
Anything's possible. Anything's possible.
Because they had the momentum going into
Mhm.
halftime. They had the lead. And I feel like that pressure was getting to OKC. The fact that they even went 7 games when people had them getting swept or gentleman sweep. And the fact that they went 7 games, I felt like the Pacers believed that they was going to win that. Nah, we can't prove it right or wrong, but that's
right.
how
It just didn't happen. See, so like we could we could literally use injuries as an excuse all the time because guys get hurt all so that's why I just take it off the board. Like, screw it.
Yeah, and I don't like to point to stuff like that either because
you feel me?
Everything, it's a rabbit hole for everything.
It's a rabbit hole, yeah. So that's why I just go with the energy. But the point is, the basketball gods have these rules, and very few are great enough to be the exception. So I need Detroit to make me a believer.
Okay, that's
got me.
Yeah. All right, I got one more
also,
question.
On the way out too. Oh, okay. I'm gonna let you answer, but on the way out too, I'm gonna say this, and I want you guys to know. I think Detroit, if y'all could keep y'all players together, see, that's the next challenge. Keeping the team together.
Yeah, the core together.
Keeping the core together. If y'all can do that, y'all could be the OKC of the East in like the next 2 years. I strongly believe that, 100%. But go ahead.
So what's his name? Keonte George. Oh my gosh, I really like his game. He remind me of Cade so much.
He's super nice.
Yeah, and then you got what's the rookie over there in Philly?
Edgecombe.
Yeah, Edgecombe. So it's like he remind me so much of Jimmy Butler. It's like who's closer? Who's the closer comparison between Keonte being Cade and Edgecombe being Butler, like 2 legit future perennial all-stars? I don't know.
I'm gonna say I think the brother George is more like Cade. I think Edgecombe got some D Wade in him a little bit though, because they
he do. I think he got both, but he got that hustle in him, like
hustle,
I'm ready for the fight. Yeah, and
explosive.
I think that explosiveness. They really got some good guards. I mean, as far as Utah is concerned, it don't matter whether Keonte George playing these couple weeks or not, because whether they tanking or not, Utah is not good. They just not good anyway. I was hoping that the Pistons picked up what's the tall white boy that came from Chicago over there? What's his name? The little curly haired dude. That tall. The tall
marketing.
Yeah, Laurie Marketing. I was hoping I'm like, y'all gotta pull that trigger. Give up Thompson, give up somebody. We need a complimentary.
You should do that. You should do that. But listen, man, I appreciate you, number 9, man. Big time salute.
All right, brother.
All right. Big time. All right. See, I'm not to all the people who think I'm ducking the smoke. No, I'm not ducking the smoke. I don't. I let the other teams call up. All right, let the other teams call up. See what my man Rod from the ATL. What's good, Rod from the ATL, man? Talk to me, man. Where we going, family?
Yeah, what up, K? What's going on, man? Chilling. I wanted to chime in on Leon Rose.
Yeah, please, let's do. Cause I've been pausing, so I'm really quickly. I feel like people give him a pass, and they complain about his work though.
Right.
They complain about his work, but they give him a pass. What say you?
Yeah, I'm riding with you, man. And this is not just NBA. NBA's problem. We see it through, especially NFL, and we see it through Major League Baseball. The GMs, they seem to be able to keep their jobs while
Right.
the coaches change, the players change, and I think it's because they wearing a suit up in the owner's box with the owners, and they chummy and they rubbing shoulders. Do you remember when Isaiah Thomas was going through with the sexual harassment thing?
Yes. Yep.
They said Dolan did not want to let him go, man. Dolan did not want to let him go because he and Isaiah was very tight, and you get that tight because you in the office exchanging ideas, going out to
It's
lunch
true.
every day. It becomes
Yep.
very personal, the relationships. And look
Yep.
at the job this GM was doing and for the Giants. He's still there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
crazy, but but the thing is, that's what it is they're too closely associated, and sometimes the lines are blurred, and the owners and management can't distinguish on who should be going. Sometimes the GM's fault. Now, I'm
Right.
gonna say this though, Leon Rose, the job he's done, I think there's only one GM that could have did a better job. That's that cat over there at OKC.
100%.
So I'm a hold out criticism until let's see if we get a championship.
Right.
And then we'll go to it, from there. Because he's
Right.
done a decent job. He brought us back to prominence, and we up in the news and everything, and we're expected to win the championship. Because, like you said before, this team was built to beat the
Boston.
Celtics, who was at the top of the heap at that time. And the only reason we didn't is because Tibbs don't believe in playing the bench, and he ran into Rick Carlisle. This is for the caller that was hurt before. Why we couldn't beat Pacers? Let's take the injuries outside.
Right.
Rick Carlisle was a championship level coach. He won it all before, so he was a tactician. He outthought Tibbs, and not to mention Siakam is no joke. He got a ring on his finger, so put those two together. So that's why I don't criticize Mike Brown too much because I think Mike Brown's going to be able to make adjustments in 7-game series. So I'm waiting to see that.
Right. You know what, Rod? Like I don't criticize Mike Brown, except I keep it on the actions. Like, so if he does something I don't like, I call it out. But you would never hear me say Mike Brown's a bad coach.
Right.
You would never hear me say he needs to be fired unless like there's enough rope for for him to hang himself, then he got to go. But I would never do those things because one, his job is very hard. He has the hardest job, even harder than JJ.
Very much so.
Very hard because the Lakers don't even care about winning right now. What the Lakers are trying to do is go get a team to put around Luka. They're in the beginning phases of that LA situation. That team is going to look way different.
Yeah.
So the goal is different. So they're not going to be as hard on JJ. But with Mike Brown, you got to win every damn game. And if you don't, we're going to come for you. So that's just the pressure that comes with New York. And honestly, people could think otherwise, but I think Mike Brown is built for this. I really do. Even though sometimes he looks confused, I do think that he's built for it.
Yeah. Because JJ is not under the pressure he is because, for one, he was endorsed by LeBron, number one. That goes a long way when you're endorsed by the franchise player, and he's the face of the league, and he's on the team, and everyone knows that the team was flawed, and they're still currently flawed. And then the three main pieces don't play defense, so that kind of gives him an out for the team not to be good. But they're playing decently now.
Right,
With Mike Brown,
better now.
Our team is built to win, so he just gotta plug and play and push the right buttons, and we'll see what happens in the playoffs. So then we can judge properly.
100%. Yeah, great point. And I'm glad you see it my way because sometimes I know like my views are different because I watch a lot. Like I just watch too much basketball and I read so much news. So I understand that I may have a different perspective, So, but it's good to see other people kind of can see where I'm coming from, whether they agree or not. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
It catch me ready to kick Mike Brown out the door after one game loss, man.
The season ain't over. And listen, we getting ready to win. I truly believe we could win the next 7 games. I truly believe it. And I just can't wait to see the news. Oh, the Knicks are the hottest. It's just like up and down, seesaw, fickle fandom, and media. So yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Crazy.
Well, thank you, brother.
Big time salute, Rock. I appreciate you.
All right.
All right. My man Rock from the ATL. Yeah, I kind of was, I was in a talkative mode. So I'm gonna try to stay true to the clock. Before I do take any more calls, let's continue to get the likes up 100%. All right. Big time salute to everybody that's in the building. Do appreciate your support. All right. To all the people who share, tell a friend. All right. I do appreciate all of y'all. Okay. I see some people saying they rocking with Leon. Okay. Big time. Oh my God. Yep. Crib's dad. If I invite a bad person over, it is my fault. They see Crib's dad. He understand. Yo, salute to Crib's dad. He understand. I see you, Maxine, the super producer. All right. My man D Grant, big time salute. All right. So before I continue, I do got to let you guys know about the latest addition to the 82-night series. It's called Game Night, the playoff edition. All right. And you can check it out on the link tree. But look, you want to know something that's crazy? Years from now, the moments, right, that we remember, the shots, the comebacks, the rivalries, but we can forget the key details. That's why I created this journal. It's a postseason journal where you can track every series, write your predictions, document game experiences, and record the entire playoff run. So instead of just watching history happen, you can actually document it. If you want one, check the link in the description and on the screen, Linktree/TheObjectiveFan. Everything is there. My email, you can order the book, order the merch. But the cool thing about this journal is that it's free shipping, okay? And it's on sale. And it arrives to your door right before the playoffs. So go get your copy now. This is a special edition for a limited time. All right? So go get your copy now and expand your basketball knowledge beyond the horizon. I look forward to seeing you guys inside of the 82 Nights Club. Big time salute to all the people who's already a part of the 82 Nights Club. If you got you one of these as well. All right? This is the first addition to the 82 Nights. So, yeah, go get your own copies now, man. All right? And continue to support. I do got some more calls. Before I take the next call, I'm going to call you guys back. If I'm missing your calls, I got you. I promise, all right? But I do because I know people want to know what the updates are. And I'm still honestly I was hoping to get a confirmation. But I'm going to let you guys know right now, I'm not spooky in the woods. But for this Pacers game, there's a great chance that both Hart and Towns are not going to play. They actually, I know ESPN doesn't have it there, but I got a TikTok. Let me see if I can get it on the screen. I got not a TikTok. I got a Twitter. Somebody. Let me see if I could get this on the screen. That said that they have been downgraded. Hold on. Let me get that on the screen. All right. Hold on. 2 seconds. The brothers have been downgraded. Now, this could be a listen, y'all. Y'all know how I am about my victory guarantees. Okay? I didn't even guarantee the Jazz victory. I mean, I knew we were going to win. I just felt like it just was too all over the place because I didn't know what Utah Jazz team would show up. By the way, to the person who said the Utah Jazz is bad, I disagree with that. I don't think the Utah Jazz are bad. I think they like the Pacers are trying to play at a lower competitive rate. And sometimes these young Bulls, I mean, because both of them got some good young players these guys are trying hard to, win games. The young guys, the Colliers, the Georges. That's why I kind of said it's kind of, a little convenient, that, the brother may miss the entire rest of the games of the season when he's averaging 24-point-something points in the last 10 games that he was bowling out of this world, Keonte George. But so this is what SNY just posted. The Knicks are listing Karl-Anthony Towns bilateral knee soreness. First of all, big time salute to Big Bo Digger Cat. For all the people who think he's soft, y'all gotta stop. He's not so. Like, this dude be playing through all types of pain. We see him with eye patches. He plays no matter what. He plays hurt. That's tough. You got to be tough to play through pain, because a lot of these guys, they look for cheap ways out. And I'm not going to call nobody's name out, but you guys know the guys that look for the easy way out, and they'll sit out at any moment in time. So this is the report for tonight's game. And honestly, y'all, it's going to make the game really interesting, because the last time we lost to Indiana, we didn't have our whole front court was out. Everybody was out. Mitch, Towns, OG, everybody was there. Hart, we had no front court at all. Just straight young Bulls. And we wound up losing that game. No, we won that game. That was the first game. We won that game by 1 point. The second game, I don't think Mitch played. But, and Mitch and with somebody else didn't play. Anyway, nonetheless, bottom line, not having these guys, Deuce McBride. Who else was on the report? Somebody else was on there too. Was it Shamit? No, Sohan as well. Sohan is ill, so Sohan won't be available either. Even not to say that he plays, but I'm just saying that, another option on the floor won't be there. So Mitchell Robinson, tonight is his night. I don't know how to feel about Mitchell Robinson starting and stepping up to the plate. I feel like he just drops the ball too damn much when we need him to. And I'm saying when he starts, I'm hoping that he could handle it, because in the end, it's going to bring it. All right, I want to say this. The trouble with tanking, right, is that the players are not tanking. Like, the players are not going hard. And I'm going to talk more about that game, but I do got to answer these calls, because a couple of people have been calling. Let me get these brothers all online. If I miss your call, I'm going to get you back. But the tanking it's not as easy to tank as you think, especially when you got young players. What's going on, Moses? How you feeling, brother?
Yeah, I'm good, man. What's going on with you?
Nothing much, man. Just, talking about basketball. Towns and Hart might not play tonight. What say you? Where you want to go?
Man, listen. Hey, I still think that if we lock and low, we still could win tonight if we focus. But what I want to say is that, bro, I understand we're going through some of those slumps right now, man. But the main focus is try to game as possible. The remaining games that are remainder, try to win them as much as possible, and then at the same time, try to figure out how you gonna play in the playoff, how you gonna beat these good teams. You know what I'm saying? Try to get these guys back and healthy. I was hearing McBride might be back soon. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, we talking about the last week in April, so it's good if he could play those last 4 games. That'd be great. That'd be great. If he could come back before that, that'd be even better. But the 4 games, if he could get those 4 games in, it'll be fine.
I doubt it though. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But what my intake is, bro. If we might probably look like we probably going to face. I don't know. If the playoff was to start, who will we face?
I think it's Orlando. Hold on, let me pull it up there.
Man,
I think it's Orlando. Listen. I mean, yes, I think we'll beat them, but I ain't gonna lie. Franz Wagner's a little scary, bro. He's a little. I'm not in the woods with it, but he's a little scary.
Miami. It look like we're gonna either play Orlando, Miami.
Or Toronto. Okay, I got it. Toronto dropped out of the 6. Oh wow, that's interesting. I told y'all they had no faith in Toronto. I told y'all that.
It look like in the postseason we either gonna play Y'all either gonna play
Miami or
Orlando or
Orlando?
Miami or Orlando.
I want Miami. Ooh, give me Miami, please.
Yes.
Jaylen Brunson prayers.
What it sounded like to me is it looked like the drop down to the third too, because it's still time because we 2 games behind them. So
that's true.
No,
1.5 now. 1.5.
Yeah, 1.5. So I mean, to me, I don't really care. It's not about if you're first, second place, or third place. I really don't care.
No, we need to get the home court. Nah, get the home court, brother. Trust me. Get the home court. You want the home court. Trust me.
Yeah,
you want it.
None of that's gonna matter if you go to the finals. I just want to get to the finals. That's what's important. I really don't care.
Oh, okay. So hold on, Moses. I know you want to get to the finals, right? But here's the thing with Knicks fans. You got to take it one day at a time, man. And you got to put yourself in the best position. You could get the second seed. We about to win the next 7 games. I don't know if Boston's going to win the next 7 games. We could literally catch them in this stretch right here. So we're going to win. Just win the games. And that's it. That's all it takes. Just win.
Yeah. If we win the rest of the games, man, like I think we should be in the second seed, man. And if we be in the second seed again,
that's
great. We might probably, but if we get the second seed, we're gonna play Toronto. It might look like we might play Toronto.
Oh, that's easy. That's a sweep.
Miami or Miami, Toronto, or Orlando, or perhaps the Hawks. But Philly, I'm looking at the standings right now. Philly, they're in 9th place. So
yes,
I don't know if we're gonna face Philly in the first round.
No, more. I mean, I don't think Philly gonna make it. Maxi's gonna be out for a prolonged time, and Embiid, you figure that out.
Injury team, bro. I guarantee you, OG was like, yo, that's a good thing I didn't go to Philly.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, yo, let me say this, like, I think Towns will be back. Hart will be back by playoff time. You know what I'm saying?
No, they day to day. They don't got major injury.
Yeah. But I don't want to rush it. You know what I'm saying?
They could take their time. I mean, we got Indiana. They could come back against Golden State, then rest again against Indiana. I mean, it's good. We good. We don't need them. Let them rest.
Like I said, we either gonna face either Orlando, Miami, or Toronto in the first round. To me, I think I'd rather take Miami in the first round, or
I want Miami bad.
Toronto. But I mean, the main idea is if we could sweep, we could get a sweep on the first round. We could sweep them in the first round, and rest out be the greatest thing, man.
I appreciate you, brother.
All right.
Big time.
Yeah.
All right. Big time. Look, let me tell you something. I want Miami bad, bro. Now, I'm glad the playoffs is shaping up this way. I need the Miami Heat. Please, NBA basketball God. Give me the Miami Heat. I want it. You know what it is? Why I want them so bad? One, I hate them, right? That's one. 2, I want my league back because y'all beat us like 2-3 years ago. You think I forgot? Give me Miami. Now, the only problem with Miami is, well, one, they got some dirty ass players on their team like Jaime Jaquez. Got to watch him. He's very dirty. But another problem with Miami is you better be prepared to run because they are running, boy. They shoot 7 seconds or less like Dead Tony, but they shooting straight threes. That's it. They only care about threes. They don't care about shooting no other point, get no other buckets. They still average. Hold up. Let me show you something about Miami. I'm going to keep it real. There's an argument to be made that the Miami Heat are the 5th best team in the East. You can make that argument. To all my people who watch the Knicks and 10 show, why do I say that? Let me show you why. If I go to differential, they've had the 4th best. They've been anywhere between 4th and 5th in differential the entire season. Miami Heat. I've been watching them the whole year. this is why they don't completely fade away the way they do. Their problem is they do get their fair share of injuries. I mean, beat up. Of course, we don't want to make injuries an excuse, but a lot of their key guys miss time. Powell, Hero, I mean, a lot of stretches. But when you talk about that differential, and let me tell you why, they're so dominant. They still average 120 points a game. I think they're number one in the league. No, the Nuggets overtook them. The Nuggets is another high-power offense. The Nuggets offense is what always keeps them in games. But Miami Heat, high power. You better be prepared to run. I'm not saying we can't do it, and I'm not saying we won't beat them. I'm just saying that's my only concern with Miami. They are running, and they shooting in 7 seconds, and they don't give a damn, and they going to hustle. I wouldn't say they're a top defensive team, but they going to fight you, and they're dirty. Bam Adebayo just dropped 83. They feeling themselves. They got the swag. I still think they'll get cooked. We'll cook them because, you know, we cook it with hot grease over here. But I would love Miami in the first round. Now, I think out of all the teams we just mentioned, even including Charlotte, add Charlotte to the mix. I think Toronto is the easiest lick in the playoffs. Anybody who gets Toronto in the first round, I think that's the easiest series. Now, if you struggle with Toronto, you're not making it very far. Yeah, I don't believe it. Anyway, you guys want to continue calling, you guys can. Well, these are the call-up show rules. Each call 3 minutes. Even though I've been letting the guys cook a little bit longer because I've been having a conversation with them, I'm going to get back into the 3-minute rule. So to all the people who call up, 3-minute rule, definitely hardcore in effect. And also, if you do want to call back because you're triggered, I'm still working on that soundbite, but you could always call back as well. I should have it done by tomorrow. And matter of fact, next time D from Los Angeles calls, I'm going to have him say triggered so I could easily just get it from there. Anyway, but yeah, you guys can keep the calls coming. I'm going to get back in the research mode. And hold on, is the number on the screen? The number is not on the screen. But this is the number here, 646-995-8389. And it's also in the description, okay? If you need the number, if you don't know the number. But I'm going to go into research mode really quickly because I want to touch on some information. Hold on. Give me 2 seconds. By the way, remember I had this, y'all? I had remember I had this? I had stuff like the scouting reports, paper. So I kind of moved my scouting reports to the computer now. So, you know, no more flashing papers like that. Because it's more efficient for me. I thought typing was slower and I like writing, but I moved it to the computer. But I still write notes though. Like I got this here. So like this is from the game. This is my game. I like to write my game notes down. I'm definitely, hold on. Do you see that? Yeah, it says it right there. So yeah, I still write my game notes down, but my other scouting stuff, I like to just get on the computer because it's way more efficient. So that's where I be reading from. But I'm still scouting. Don't think I'm not. And I'm watching the Boston Celtics and the San Antonio Spurs very closely. Got my eyes on y'all. Tatum. To all the people who make excuses for Boston and you from New York, you should be ashamed of yourself because nobody's making no excuses for you, not Stephen A. Smith. I couldn't believe he had the audacity to say, well, you know, Boston lost because Jaylen Brown, he got thrown out the game. What type of soft cupcake stuff is that? Whose fault was it that he got thrown out the game? That's your fault. That means you lack the mental fortitude to stay strong in these moments where it gets rocky. And that's going to hurt you in the postseason. Because you ain't got the mentality in the big game to keep your head in the game. Oh, they shouldn't have thrown him out. Who gives a damn? Who has any sympathy for anybody? I don't got no damn sympathy for no goddamn Celtics especially. What are we talking about? They got cooked. They lost the last 2 games where they were supposed to step up. They lost. They're not about that life. Ain't no excuses. All right? Period. You lost. That's it. No one said, oh, well, Stephen A didn't get on the air and say, oh, well, in the first 2 games, the Knicks didn't have their squad. You know, they didn't have enough points in game. He didn't say that. But now we want to say the reason why they lost because Jaylen. You don't know what the hell will happen in the game. I hate excuses, bro. I really do, with a passion, because it's just unfair bias, and I just don't like it. You know. Oh, you know what? Let's talk about this. Let's talk about this, and then I'm gonna get into the game review. All right. So we could talk about the first quarters as well, because the first quarters are an issue. There's a discrepancy that I have with MSG on the air. They said that we are 17-7. No, they said that we're 18-18 when trailing after the first quarter. According to my stats, I calculated 17-18. I went back and double counted, and I was correct with my counting. So somebody's wrong. I don't know. I don't know who's right. Really, like, boggled. I'm like, I've been saying 17-18. They're saying 18-18. Somebody has to be wrong. I don't think it's me, because one thing about me, I double check my work. Either way, whether it's 17-18, 18-18, it's all the damn same. So I want to talk about this. Mike Brown trying to fix the Knicks' recent early game wake-up calls. So the first quarter. Now, what I like about this is that somebody sees what we've been talking about, y'all. How many Where There's Smokes and Fire shows have we said, hey, man, first quarter, slow starts, first quarter, slow starts. Why are we getting off the slow starts? So Mike Brown addressed it, you know? He's willing to burn timeouts. How many of you guys noticed the quick timeouts in the first quarter? Does that mean we need to change the starting lineup? Is something off to the point where, they're not starting out strongly? What's going on? Why can't we start out strong in the first quarter? Can y'all explain that to me? Does someone have the answer? So he's been calling out these timeouts early in games. We've seen it in the Jazz. We've seen it in the Clippers. And he says, I've seen it too many times when I don't, where it seems like it gets worse. And the next thing you know, we're down 16-4. Facts. And we got to fight back. And we got to fight back. And it's just a lot of fighting back. You're a 500 team when you have to fight back in the first quarter. If you start off strong, you cut out half of the battle. These things matter. I'm going to do whatever I can to not let that happen. The tough part about that is if I do that, I'm down timeouts, which is a major key, because especially if you need a challenge late, now you don't got no damn timeouts. What happens now? Right? So I don't like doing it, but I have to. I would try to wake them up. Why do we got to wake these guys? Why can't we just put our best unit out there from the start? Why do we got to wake these guys up? Could someone explain that to me? Knicks have had problems lately. Over the last 10, they were outscored by 3.2 points in the first quarter. That's the 4th worst in the NBA. So you're performing like a team that can't get over the hump early on, and you find yourself fighting. The only teams that are worse are tankers. Brooklyn, Dallas, Washington. Let me go into the 82 Nights Club right now. And I'm going to give you the double down stat to show the ineptitudes that exist in first quarters. And it really does hamper us in our efforts to win games. Let me pull that up. So in the first quarter, y'all ready for this? We've trailed the last 5 first quarters. Okay? The last 5 first quarters we trail. Hold on. Nope. I'm wrong. No, I'm right. Yeah, I updated Utah. I remember. Okay, cool. I added Utah. So yeah, it's the last 5 first quarters. We're down, right? Going into the second. And prior to that, against Milwaukee, San Antonio, Toronto, the 3 winning streaks, we actually won the first quarters. In that 3-game winning streak, we had Milwaukee, San Antonio, Toronto. After the Cleveland loss, we won the first quarters. What happened? And you can't technically say that, well, it's because we were at home. We were on the road for 2 of those games. In fact, the first game was the first of the back-to-back, which we won. There, of course, we lost to OKC. And that OKC game, we started out down. And we had to fight and trudge. You can't win like that against good teams. I'm pretty sure I could go through the list of teams that we lost to, the good teams, and show that we've been down in the Lakers game, right? The Detroit games. We're down in the first quarter. We got to fight our ways up. It's very difficult to do that. And our record when we win the first quarter is 23-6. 23-6 when we win the first quarter. So you would think there would be an initiative to start strong. So to all my change the starting lineup people, this is your bone right here. You could tell your friends and say, hey, well, we're 23-6 when we win the first quarter, and maybe we need to start off better with a better starting lineup or a different starting lineup so we can win more first quarters. You win more first quarters, you win more games. Now, during this next stretch of games, I'm curious to see how we do in the first quarters, because just because we win mostly what we do doesn't mean we're going to do it throughout this stretch. Against Brooklyn, what if we start off bad, but we're like, it's time to put the pressure on them. We could always come back and drop a 40-point bomb to bring us back in the games, but you cannot do that against good teams. So what do you guys think about the first quarters? We're turning it over to start. Our opponents are not feeling us. And if they do feel us, it's because we're reaching and sending them to the free throw line. Another burden in recent times. Free throws. We have to take away the 3 to start the game. Last 3 games, teams are bang, bang, bang. That's a fact. We've seen it in Utah especially. Hit 2 threes like the first 1.5 minutes. We're not going to get shooters, and they're not feeling us on their closeout. If we do that, we're taking care of the ball, so we're not feeling transition. That's another thing against Indiana. You better not let these guys run. All right, we should start games better, but we're not giving ourselves the chance. And we're letting the opponents feel good about the way the game is starting. Bingo. What do you guys think about that? All right, because you're going to get some bad teams with young bulls. Yo, there's so many good players that are young, it's scary. In my mind, I'm like, there's no way that the league could be this good with talent, like guys you never heard of before, coming up, dropping 26, 22 in a quarter. Like, I saw this kid the other night in the Indiana game. I was doing my scouting. This kid, I'm going to give you his name. What game was that? That had to be the Suns game. There was this kid. He had like 23 points. I'm going to get it. 22 points in the fourth quarter. What's good, Ty? Talk to me, family.
Yo, fam. How you doing?
How you feeling? Man, everything good, man. It's game day. I'm trying to, stay amped, and I'm feeling good. How you feeling, brother?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I want to ask you a question, man. Do you think Mikal wants to be here? And if so, should we trade him for DiVincenzo? Like, nobody drops off the way Mikal drops off, the way he's playing. This is like he doesn't have that passion that he used to have. Something is off with him. I don't know if he wants to be here. And the second question I have is, do you know what the argument was that they had, or the little, at halftime? I don't know if it was an argument or whatever, but I heard it was like some sort of, rift between the players in the locker room, so we can come, and we end up coming back and beating them the other night. But I'm just saying, do you know about that?
I don't know what was said, but they said that there was a discussion that was had. Guys, let's get it together. And that happens when you get your butt whipped on the road, man. You feel me? Like, dude, in the park it gets crazy. That's just us playing in the park.
That's a fact.
So and that's still your man. It's just he's playing like crap today. You want to let him know because you want to win. So I don't look at this stuff like that. I really don't think this team has chemistry issues. Like, I really do
No.
believe that based off the things that's not communicated. And maybe I'll do a
Right.
show on that.
Right, because I saw Brunson when he was sitting down on the bench. He was talking to Jordan, and he was, he was telling him, look, like he was telling him, like, yo, man, I'm like, if this, to me, it felt like he was going to vouch for him, like he need to be balling, he needed to play. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because it looked like that's when Jordan was going off, and I think Brunson was like, yeah, we need you. You know what I'm saying? That's what it looked like from just a fan's perspective view from sitting at home. But I just wanted to know, man, if Mikal really still want to be here, man, because New York media is the toughest media in the world. I don't care. It ain't Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? Brooklyn Nets, it's a tough media over there, but this is historic. Madison Square Garden is historic, man. This is Broadway. So the media is always going to be, I don't care if we have a trash year, the media is still going to be the media. I don't know if Mikal is able to handle that. He's hearing the rumblings or what. But I just wanted to ask you those questions, bro.
Okay. I could answer the Mikal. Hell yeah, Mikal want to be here. He signed that 5-year 150. Listen, let me tell you something. Mikal Bridges, I don't think he gives a damn about what people got to say in terms of like media and fans. Like, he's the one guy, because I met him and he, very good guy. Like, I don't think I can't say he gets bothered by the outside noise. At least I don't believe that. If he does, then I'll just be wrong on that. I'll die on that hill.
Got it.
But I don't think he cares about the pressure. Remember, he's from Philly too, so he ain't a suburb kid that like he from an area, he from a town. He trust me, he's good. He's good. And I did a show last night. I'm not sure if you saw it, where I was defending him. I was his lawyer last night. I had to defend his case.
I couldn't catch it. No.
It's a great show. You got to watch it. I opened up some people's eyes. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Wow. 100%. Okay, good. Because I just wanted to make sure, but I appreciate you for taking my call, man. I'll be logged in once you log on. I'll be logged in, bro. But hope
big time.
We need this win tonight, so that's what we got to do, fam. We got to get this win.
Boy.
Man.
I don't know if I could guarantee to win tonight, man. Ty, I don't know.
No, we'll beat them. The Pacers, like, at the end of the day, we lost to them last time. That left a nasty taste in our mouth. And I heard you talking about Miami. Miami, bam, they riding the wave or whatever. But at the end of the day, man, this is when I seen the Knicks come back on. Who do we play last?
Utah.
Oh, Utah. When I saw that mental fortitude, I said, okay, that's what we need. And we have that. We're seasoned. We're vets, man. We're seasoned. So I'm not worried about Miami. I'm not worried about Charlotte, Orlando. I'm not worried about Cleveland. It's Boston I'm worried about. And if Detroit, I'm a little afraid if Detroit get them a real shooter on the outside. I think we'd probably be in a little trouble. But at the end of the day, I'm not worried about Tobias Harris, because what I'm saying, it's like every team he done played on, I've never seen him go to the finals like that. So I just, you know what? I'm believing in my Knicks, man. And at the end of the day,
100%.
What I'm saying, we'll handle Indiana tonight, man. We'll handle Indiana. You'll see.
I hope.
You'll see.
I'm hopeful.
Yeah, yeah. All right, fam.
Big time.
Peace.
Now, you know what? Ty is right, because we should beat Indiana. Not seriously. Like, this should be a Karan Pierre guarantee. Big time stuff to my man AP. He said they should put this show on MSG Network simulcast. Shout out to Karan, the statistician, and Miss Mad Max. Big time salute to you, AP, MVP donor, man. Hey, I'm here. If they want to put me on MSG, I actually believe, honestly, I could revive MSG Networks. I think I could. Because as fans, keep it real. Do you guys watch MSG Networks outside of the games? It's a real question. Do you watch the other programming that's on there? I don't think they're catering to fans and what the fans would like to see. How many of you guys would love to see a call-up show? Now, it would have to be a watered-down call-up show, right? Of course, we edit it. We'll go live, and then we'll re-air it on MSG, right? I think it would be great. Of course, we had to edit it because, the calls get a little raw. But that one show alone, like, that would probably be the #1 show on MSG. Just doing that show like that, with the way we do it, the way we get down, with the characters calling up. And people will love to see that. I think that's what MSG is missing. They're missing the content the fans would want to see, and I would love to help them with that. I know they got a huge bump in the last quarter. They made a nice little profit. Big time salute to MSG Networks. And I'm pulling for you guys because I love the cable channel experience, the regional cable feel when I'm watching. I love MSG, and I love the programming style and everything they do in terms of the games. That's why I always try to run from the national networks when those games are on there. To all the people who would like me to do a live play-by-play, I don't know if y'all gonna turn up. I'm gonna think about it. I'm talking to Mad Max about it, but would y'all really turn up to watch me do the live play-by-plays? Because the playoffs are gonna all be on thing. Plus, like, I take a lot of notes and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I got notebooks everywhere. I would love to watch the game with y'all, but this is what I'm doing while I'm watching the game. And then I'm in the Discord. Salute to the Knicks Tape Madness Discord server. One time, I was in such a debate with my man D from LA. I'm like, damn, man, like, what are we doing? So I would love it. I definitely would go on MSG Networks, 100,000%. With Alan Hahn, I just want to work with Alan Hahn on something just one time. I feel like Alan Hahn is just phenomenal. If you go look at his, I'm not sure if he still does it, but he did like a little after show videos he used to do. He's a master at just analyzing. And I would love to do it. Big time salute. Thank you, AP. My man CW Flash says the MSG's games are always 2 minutes behind. That's the problem. Because in the Discord, we got some out-of-state people. They watching it on Amazon. And I'm like way behind them. I'm looking at my joint like, yo, how they know that Brunson made the 3? That's another thing with the Discord. Some of the people, not everybody, most of the people be on MSG time, but some of the people, but yeah, MSG do be behind. And I'm wondering if that's because the way the network is set up. I don't know. It's all streaming now, so for the most part, so. But I hear you though, CW Flash. But I don't really care about getting it super real time. As long as I get to watch it, I take the 2-minute delay. All right. Big time salute to okay, Mellow Mike. Talking about refunds. Okay. How many people going to Westchester? Okay. Okay. Well, I don't know. I mean, last time we tried to do something with Westchester and nobody really responded. I don't know. People are weird like that. I'm gonna touch on the game a little bit, but if y'all want to continue to call, y'all can at any time. I'm curious to know about the first quarters. And by the way, once again, if y'all missed that MSG video, man, I mean MSG, the Mikal Bridges video I did last night, it was fire. Big time salute to my man Khalil. He came in and gave me the support. He said, yo, you right. This, that, and the third, this amount of set. I was like, whoa, okay. Big time salute to my man Khalil. He was on the money. Now, I do got to talk about this Pacers game. What I got on here is the score from game 1. I'm going to come back to that. I'm going to talk about this Pacers game. Unfortunately, I had to watch a lot of Pacers games, and I really did not want to watch a lot of Pacers games. But, when you're doing scouting the way I do, unfortunately, you got to watch the Pacers games. So I am not going to lie. The Indiana Pacers, give me 2 seconds. I'm just trying to get my notes on this other screen. The Indiana Pacers, right? They lost 10 games in a row. All right. I'm going to show y'all the teams they lost to. They lost to the Wizards twice. Do you know how bad you have to be to lose to the Wizards twice in a row? Then they lost to the Mavericks. Then they lost to the Sixers. I don't even think Maxey was there. No, he was there. This was one of the last games he played. Okay, cool. Maxey was there. Then they lost to the Sixers. Then they lost to the Hornets. They didn't just lose to the Hornets. The Hornets demolished them. They gave them an old-fashioned, you know what. They lost to the Memphis. All right. This is why I'm concerned about tonight. There's no way you could be this bad and lose this many games this way. Like, seriously. Like, there's no, like, if you really think about it, there's no way you could lose this many games and be bad. You're getting smacked by the worst of the worst teams. Washington, Grizzlies. Everybody blew out the Wizards. Let me see if I can get their plus minus. Do I got the plus minus in the last 10? Y'all ready for their plus minus in the last 10? Let's do it. Let's do it. Y'all ready for the plus minus in the last 10? They are a minus 15.5 in their last 10 games. All 10 losses. This makes me concerned, y'all. Why am I concerned? Because eventually you got to go up. I don't see the Pacers losing the rest of all of their games. It could happen. Anything is possible. I just don't think it's going to happen. I think eventually they're going to win a game. One of the things I seen that kind of also had me concerned. This game against the Suns was last night. I'm going to take you to the game. By the way, this kid Slauson, he made my players to watch. I like him for the Pacers. He had a nice block on Booker, I think it was, in the third quarter. And he was hustle. He was hustle man. I like Slauson. But by the way, salute to my man BS10258, but he's getting killed in fantasy right now. Big time salute to him. But what I want to show you is, okay, hold on. I'll go to the box score. No problem. I just want to show you. Look at the names of the players who's playing. There's no Neesmith. There's no Obi Toppin. There's no Pascal Siakam. There's no Quentin Jackson. Who else was missing? There's no TJ McConnell. None of these guys played tonight. So what do you think that means, y'all? So if none of those guys played last night, when do you guys think they gonna play? They gonna play tonight. And watch. And look at this. Let me show you something. The Pacers are one of the weirdest teams in basketball, bro. The weirdest teams in basketball. I think they have an agenda. Of course, the first part of the agenda is the tank. We know that. Their draft, if you don't know, their draft pick is top 4 protected. They traded it for Zubac, who's going to play tonight, by the way. Zubac will be there tonight, making his second game appearance for the Pacers. So one of the deals was they sent the first round pick, it's top 4 protected. So this is why they've been losing like this, because they would love to keep the pick because you could get Boozer, or you could get the AJ kid, or you could get the Peterson kid and put him with Zubac, Siakam, Halliburton, and Neesmith. That will be your lineup next year. Most of the same guy, well, not most of the same 3 guys that beat us that last year, and Zubac. Yeah, the Pacers are going to be a problem next season. They are downplaying themselves. Are you hearing me? The Pacers are not playing up to par, bro. I watched it. All right, last night Zubac and Nembhard played the first half. They did not play the second half. They played a whole bunch of dudes you never heard of before. Quentin Jackson didn't play last night. Notice how you see all the same guys I just told you about? They're all game time decisions. What do you think is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen in New York City? Hold on, my tab is going to die. Them brothers are going to play. All of them. All 5 of these guys are going to play tonight. Maybe Nembhard might not play. But to be honest, Nembhard only played the first half last night. But I could see Nembhard sitting out. They are trying to win the night's game. It's like they got the 10 losses in a row to prepare to beat the Knicks. Now, on our side, I don't think Towns and Josh Hart are playing. Sohan, I don't know. But Josh Hart, Towns are not playing. We've already been missing out on Deuce. So now Mitchell Robinson has to step up. It's very important and vital because one of the things that took place in this game, on these games against the New York Knicks, was that neither team really was dominant on the glass. Neither team was dominant on the glass. So let me show you. This game was the last game we lost. The Pacers had 43 rebounds. We had 46 rebounds. So that's a +3. That's solid, you know. So we won the rebounding battle, but it was just a +3. If you go to game 1, right? And this is the game. By the way, Mitchell Robinson hasn't played against the Indiana Pacers yet. We lost the rebounding battle. They were a +6. All right. That's what actually kept Indiana in the game. And the Knicks had to have a phenomenal fourth quarter to come back because this was a game where we actually trailed after the third, and then we still had to fight hard to get the win. By the way, who had a good game this game? Mikal Bridges. Sorry, I'm his attorney right now. Mikal Bridges. He puts in work against the Indiana Pacers. So I am projecting or suspecting that tonight Mikal might go off for 30. I'm just letting y'all know it might happen. May not happen, but that's something that I'm strongly predicting that Mikal's going to have a good game tonight. So the rebounding is important. The Pacers are a team that are a terrible rebounding team, but they're solid in opponent rebounds. All right? In the last 10 games, they've only given up 9.5 offensive rebounds to the opponents. We know that for us, that rebounding has been a kind of a chore for us in the last 10 games, in recent games, even if you go back to 20 games. Our offensive rebounding is like a -2. I'm going to give you the exact number. So we're 11.7 in the last 10 games. We've been picking it up. So about a minus, I would say 1 point something, 1.4 or something like that. Either way, the offensive rebounding has been down. It's picking back up, you know, recently. But we need to see some guys crashing the glass, especially if you're not hitting the 3. One thing I'm going to say about the Indiana Pacers is that they are definitely one of the top teams, top 10 all year in three-point defense. They're top 10 in all categories, percentages, makes, attempts. They do a good job defending the 3-ball. However, in the last 10 games, their opponents are shooting 38% against the Pacers. So there's an opportunity to hit the 3-ball. But the problem in that analysis is the Pacers haven't been playing a consistent lineup. Neesmith played 4 games, right? My man Quentin Jackson played 9. But Pascal Siakam played 4 games. Nembhard played 7 games. Zubac played 1 game. Toppin played 6 games. So every other game, they got guys in or out. They don't have the same guys on the floor, so you didn't get the chance to see all of these guys together for the last 10 games. I guarantee you, if all of those guys played together for Indiana, they would be a lot better, but we know that it's tanking tactics. They are trying to tank because they want a bad pick. I mean, a good pick, sorry. But they hate our guts. The same thing happened in game 2, and I told y'all. I said, hey, I gave you the caveat. Let me see how many of you guys are diehard blue-orange fans. What did I say on the blue-orange show that same morning? I said, listen, the Pacers are terrible on purpose. If Quentin Jackson plays tonight, if he starts tonight, we might be in trouble. I'm not saying it because Quentin Jackson is an all-star. He did get a bag. Salute to Quentin Jackson for getting the bag. I'm a player appreciator. I like it. I saw this kid. I said, yo, this kid is super nice. Why the hell? I think he got a 3-year deal. And I was happy to see that because he's on my players to watch list. And I told y'all about him. And I knew that if he was playing and Neesmith played, it's going to be that work. And the show was. You know, they took us to overtime and they got the victory. And they were playing hard. They were playing to win this game. And it's games like these, even the OKC game, this is on purpose. This you're seeing right here is by design. They're taking 10 games off to win one because they beat OKC in OKC. And then in the first game, they took OKC to overtime. Yes, these same Pacers did that to the defending champions. They're taking these games personal. They take games off. They pick and choose. They got guys in and out of the lineup. That's why they were fined. The NBA fined the Pacers for tanking already. And I'm telling you, I seen it with my own damn eyes. I'm watching the second half. I'm like, wait a minute. Who the hell is where is Nembhard? They had Shepherd out there. It was Shepherd and Huff. By the way, you got to watch out for Huff too. In the last 10 games, Jay Huff is averaging 12.8 points a game. Right? 12.8 points a game. He was starting a little bit because Zubac only played one game. Jay Huff taking it off the bounce to the rack and dunking on people. I couldn't believe it. I said, this is Jay Huff? In the last 10 games, Jay Huff, he's not shooting the three ball well, 30%, but he's getting them up there. He's going to let them fly. So if you're playing defense and you sag off of this guy, Mitchell Robinson, he'll light you up. But what took the cake for me when he was looking like Karl Anthony Towns out there driving by people and dunking. It's just the weirdest thing in basketball. Last 4 games, Siakam 26-6. This is why they sitting them. Siakam, you're doing too much work. We're trying to tank Siakam. We don't need you out there looking like you a superstar. Jarris Walker is another kid that's interesting. He's shooting 30% from 3 in the last 10 games on 13.6 points, 7.2 rebounds. They got 4 guys. No, sorry. They got 7 guys averaging in double digits in the last 10 games. And that's not counting, of course, Quentin Jackson's 9.7 points in 9 games. I project that all of these guys are going to be playing tonight. And it could be problematic. Especially if we can't get our 3-ball to fall. So when I'm looking at these last 10 games, I'm like, damn, I can't even really go by these last 2 games. Last 10 games because I don't know which Pacers team is going to show up. By the way, I was trying to get that kid's name. Hold on. Let me go to my players to watch session in my journal. I'm going to get you the guy's name. There's this kid on Phoenix. This kid is nice, bro. I'm like, where the hell this kid came from? And you got to watch League Pass basketball to find out about kids like this, unless you're just a big college basketball person and you know all the nice people from college that's going to be in the NBA. But if you're not doing that, there's no way. His name is Devin Carter. Devin Carter, not from the Suns, from the Kings. He had 22 points in the 4th quarter and sparked the comeback to beat the Pacers, dog. This kid, Devin Carter, 6'2" guard. Look him up. Nice. But yeah, that's my take on the Pacers game, though. I don't know, y'all. I'm a little concerned, y'all. Big time salute to AP. He says, Karan, if you ever get that MSG show, like Howard Stern and Robin, Mad Max has to be on camera with you on the TV version. I mean, that's up to her. You know, if she would like to get on TV, I'm pretty sure she wouldn't mind it. But, you know, she likes to be behind the scenes. So, but, you know, we could do it Vlad style if y'all want to hear her voice. You know, I know she hasn't really made much appearances in recent moments, but she's here. You know, she's doing her thing. You know, she got her own business popping. She's a marketing guru, Maxine. For the record, she be doing her own thing, man. Trust me. By the way, I see the call back time. I'm gonna get you on the line, but that's why I'm concerned about the game tonight. I'm keeping it real. You don't know what Pacers team you gonna get. I'm telling you, we should win. And I think we are going to win, but I don't know what Pacers team is going to show up, y'all. Because the first 2 games, by the way, if you didn't notice, were close. We didn't blow the Pacers out. Like, we didn't smack them and treat them like our sons like we should have did. All right? We actually lost one of those games. It went to overtime. So I can't, you're not going to get me to sit here and guarantee a victory tonight. Let me see what my man Ty wants. All right? Hopefully he answers. By the way, if you want to call back, all you have to do is send in a donation like my man Ty. What's going on, brother? Where you want to go?
AK, man. Listen, man. All right.
Yeah.
First off,
I keep it real, though. Ty, I'm keeping it real.
But listen, you're too smart for this. Let me tell you why.
I'm too smart. I like that. Go ahead.
Look, you know good and well, it don't matter if it's Indiana, Karan.
Mm-hmm.
It's New York. Look
at
the Jazz. When you play in New York, you are auditioning because New York never keeps a solid team. Every player that comes to play in New York, whether they're in New York going to visit them or they come into the Garden, especially when they come to the Garden, rookies, it don't matter if you can be third. Come on, bro. We got to be realistic here. Everybody's going to play their best ball when they play the New York Knicks.
That's a fact.
So the fact is, they don't even got to play. None of them players got to play. And Indiana's still going to play us tough.
That's true. But they going to play, though. That's my point. They're going to play.
Because the ownership can't stand us.
Right.
See, it's a perpetual hatred against us. And it's understood. We don't like their asses neither. But at the end of the day, that should give us more an incentive when I'm looking at Brunson and you talking about Mikal. Bro, all right. If Mikal goes off for 30, I'm gonna be upset. Here's why. Because I still want to win. I want to win. I don't want him to get 30, and I want us to win. And here's why. Because you don't get to pick and choose when the hell you want to play. We need you to step up, looking like a deer in headlights when you're playing against Detroit. They being out physical. They got you looking all bad. No, fam. We need Mikal to be this dog every day. We need him to be this dog every day, Karan. He can't.
I hear you.
I play against the Pacers, so I do good against the Pacers. The one thing about Brunson last year, man, he was Captain Clutch because it didn't matter who you put in front of us.
That's true.
Captain Clutch was going to come, and he was going to show up and show out. So that's all I got to say, man. You know, I love your show, man. You my brother. But at the end of the day, no. Listen, it don't matter who plays the Knicks, man. They're going to play their best.
They're going to play their best. I got you.
Yeah.
I got you.
All right,
all I was saying was, Ty, really quick before you go, all I was saying was I did all the scouting for no reason because the team that I watch is not the team. Yo, listen, they would have games, Ty. Siakam is out. Neesmith played.
Yeah.
The Siakam plays. Neesmith.
Yeah.
That's why they're getting cooked in these tickets. I think it's on purpose. I think it's by archetype.
They definitely doing it on purpose, fam. They definitely doing it on purpose.
Throw us. So now we can't scout for them. We don't know who the hell is going to show up. And also, too, what I need you to do, Ty, when you get some time, watch the Mikal Bridges video. Then call me back.
Okay.
Call me back on the next time you get a chance to, and we can talk about that conversation. We can have a conversation about Mikal, and then we'll go from there. All right?
I see you protected him.
No, I'm his lawyer. I'm his lawyer for now. But one thing I'll also say, Ty, on the way out, I'm not excusing the 0 points and those games. Yeah, he deserved it. I'm not excusing that.
Yeah.
But other than that, I got him.
Because he's too good. I'm just upset because he's better than what he's doing right now, and I'm tired of us playing subpar. Sometimes we just got to go get that number 1 seed and have everybody come through us, man. Have everybody just come
I like that. That's what I'm thinking. And that's why. But Ty, really quick, I know we got to go. But look, this is why I keep telling Knicks fans, don't have that attitude we could just fall to 4 and we'll be up. Nah, we ain't falling. There's no falling, bro. Come on.
We can't do that. We can't do that. We need to get the highest seed we can so that we at least to the Eastern Conference Finals, we got teams coming to see us, man.
Bingo. That's the key.
The golden key is the whole Eastern Conference in the playoffs gotta run through New York. They gotta come through New York. And if we had that with Brunson and all of them this year with Mike Brown, 1, that would help Mike Brown with his coaching. 2, that would help the confidence of the players. 3, that would help the fans support the team because we're there at our home more than we are on the road.
Bingo.
This is
And we ain't got to
chestnut
protect. Yo, Ty, look, we ain't got to protect the tickets like these other clowns. They got to protect their tickets. Man, New York City going to be in such great abundance. We're going right after the game. Yeah,
that's a fact. They know it. They know it. But all right, fam, I'm going to be chiming back in. But I'm gonna watch that. I'm going to watch that Mikel thing. I'm going to watch it last night, and then I'm going to chime back in later.
Big time salute.
All right, family. All right.
All right. It's my man Ty calling in. I hear him. You know, I get it. He's right though. They're gonna play regardless, no matter who on the floor. It's the Knicks. We got to ball out. But this time, I'm concerned because I did this goddamn scouting for no goddamn reason, and I'm mad I did the report before I watched like most of the games. If I would have watched most of the games, I wouldn't even did the report. Because I would have been like, yo, these guys are not there. I'm watching the game. I'm like, damn, one game, Toppin is there. The next game, this guy is, it's wild. So, yeah, that's what to expect tonight. I'm not saying we can't win. I'm just saying, I'm not spooky in the woods, but I'm a little concerned about a Pacers team that are deliberately archetyping their performance. Yeah. But listen, y'all, we'll be back tonight, more than likely. Where there's smoke, there's fire. I appreciate the support, y'all. Continue to smash the like button on the way out. Let's make sure I'm good on the supers. I do appreciate everybody in the building. And until next time, as always, go.